we went out to this super fancy restaurant. And it's the fanciest restaurant in Tampa. There was a guy that had the suit with the tails on, like top hat and tails, like really, really fancy. All the top money earners are there. You know, we just walk in. They have a dress code. They seriously had a dress code, and it said no chains. Like no chains, no jeans, no tennis shoes, no baggy shirts. I was like, okay, but they let us in, and they're like, "Do you have a reservation?" And we're like, "No." And we have a reservation. She was like, "It's reservations only," and we were like, "Uh-oh." When they said, "But we do have a table for you." Okay, so we're walking in, like it's this huge entryway. We're walking in, and Dr. Don and his wife, and Pam Souter and her husband, they're walking out the doors as we are walking in the entryway. And like my initial reaction is, "Oh my gosh, it's Dr. Don!" So I, like the door is closing behind me, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta go get them." And then like they have a herd of people running after them. And then I stop myself and I think, "Oh my gosh, I can't chase after these people that, you know, they probably think they're getting mugged or something." And they tell them, they're like, "We're running behind them to go." So I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it was just them." So we go sit down, and there is just, I mean, like I'm just in awe looking at all the fancy people, all the top earners and stuff. We have our meal, and it is so great. I mean, like, it is so expensive, so great. So I'm just looking at all these people as I'm walking out. There's people walking in. So who passes me? But Mike Patillo. He passes, and then who else did I say?
The son. What's his name?
Tyler's there. Oh, and then Cindy. I seen Cindy. So I'm seeing these people that I recognize and I know, and they're walking through the door, and I'm looking, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, they're this right here to me, walking past me." Well, this nice man, I just see this nice older man. He's got the door open, and he's holding it, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that was just them." So I'm just in a panic. Like, what do? I want to see these people. I want to talk to these people. So I'm like, turning around like this, and I'm looking, like stalking them. Like, I'm just like, "Oh my God, I know you all." So this guy's like waiting for me to get out the doorway because he's holding the door. And so I just turn around, and he's right here at me. And I look at him, and he's right here. And it's Mark. It's Mark holding the door for me to get out of the way from stop looking at his family. And so I'm just like, "Oh my gosh." So he's right here, and I'm just like, looking, and I'm backing up, and he's standing right here. And in my head, I'm like, "It's Mark. What do I do? So I just said, what anybody else would do. I'm like, "Mark!" And he's right here, so he's shutting the door. So he stops the door, and he turns around to me, and this is what I do. Just like this. This is what I do. And we stare at each other for 30 seconds. Because I can't move, and he's waiting on me. He doesn't know what I'm doing. And I'm just like looking, and then I say, "I'm so sorry. I have stars in my eyes." And it's so hot. Like nothing else is around or anything. But I wanted him to know that he's starred me. And he just walks over to me, and he says, "High five." "Good job." And walks away. And so my soul was at peace. And I'm just walking away. I'm like, "Oh my God, he knows who I am." He knows me. And in my mind, I really did think he will know me one day. It was the most amazing feeling ever. But I'm pretty sure I creeped him out. We've seen other famous people, and I've never, like, famous, like the world knows they're famous. And I've never just been like, and this time I was just like, and it was just the longest game. It was so funny. So I can't wait to hang out with them more next year.